Become your attention, please. Before our program begins, here in just a few minutes, I'd like to ask if you have a cell phone to make sure that you turn it on the off position, please, or turn it to silence, if you will. Let me be the first, maybe the 10th or 15th to welcome you here this morning. We are so thankful to be back. We've had a 2-year hiatus, and we're so thankful to see your smiling faces here today. And I just want you to know that in that section, in the L section, if you would like to move down into the chairs, you're more than welcome to. We'll begin here just in a few short minutes. As you can tell, it takes a village to put on a presentation such as this. And we want you to know that we are doing this for you, and we are not perfect, but we hope that you walk away today knowing that you have been honored and are appreciated. So we will be starting in just a couple of minutes.
Good morning and welcome to our Veterans Day celebration. During the War of 1812, Francisco Key was on a boat in Baltimore Harbor. From there, he witnessed the bombing of Fort McHenry by the British Army. All through the night, he caught glimpses of the American flag through the smoke and flashes of light from the bombing. In the morning, he was so thrilled to see the flag still flying that he was inspired to write a poem about it. The poem he wrote was later set to the tune of another song, and eventually became America's national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. Please stand for the presentation of the colors, the pledge of allegiance, and please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
This is America, and we are Americans. We are young, we are old. We are wealthy, we are not. We live in cities, we live in towns. We were born here, we came here. We have dark skin, we have light skin. We are teachers and students, soldiers and citizens, friends, neighbors, and family.
At this time, we will recognize the basic veterans of our U.S. military. Veterans, you are going to recognize, please stand. completed the U.S. Army before retiring in 2019. Sergeant Major Garrett served primarily with the 35th Ranger Regiment and other special operations units as an infantryman, sniper, and operator. He deployed to combat 16 times as part of Operation Iraqi Freedom, Operation Enduring Freedom, and other operations around the world. Sergeant Major Barrett is a recipient of the Silver Star, Bronze Star, and Silver Heart for women deceased in combat. Sergeant Major Barrett is married to Amanda, and they have 3 children that attend local high school: Alexa, Allie, and Tyler. Please welcome Sergeant Major Barrett.
Well, thank you very much for that introduction. Let's give our kids a round of applause this morning. Thank you to all of the children, all of the staff, and everyone that's worked so hard to put this day together. I will not be very long, but I thank each and every one of you for being here today. We all know why we're here, and that's to celebrate Veterans Day. But we're also here to celebrate. How many of our veterans' wives or family members are here today? Would you please stand up? Let's give them a round of applause. I know out of my 23 years that I served in the Army and my multiple combat tours around the world, I know that I could not have done what I did if it wasn't for my family. So I thank each and every one of you, not only the veterans that are here today, but also the family members that are here. And I just want to say thank you again to all of the kids. And I have one simple message for you, and then I will give the rest of my time to Sergeant Shields as he gets up and speaks, because he's a lot more prepared than I am, it looks like. But I would just like to say, kids, don't ever let anyone tell you that America isn't great. Never be ashamed of what America stands for, and that's freedom. And although we do have our problems, but I will attest, America is still the greatest country this world has ever seen. Thank you all very much. God bless you.
Stating that America really is a unique country. We, the pillars of democracy and melting pot of free country, well, yeah, also because there are so many cool things that make us who we are. No kidding, like fireworks on the 4th of July or turkey on Thanksgiving. How about our movies, TV, and radio? Our music, our video games, our pizza, and the something of our pie. Or blue jeans, football, fast food, freeways. Broadway, the Grand Canyon, parades, amusement park, Hollywood, the Smithsonian, the Rockies, Roosevelt, Mount Rushmore. Basketball, marching band, teddy bears, New York City. Wow, we could go on and on, couldn't we? Yes, we really could. And most importantly, we can't forget to be the greatest military on earth. And that's because of you. Sergeant First Class retired Darrell Shields, graduated from Couch High School in May 1995. And joined the Army in February 1996. He retired from the military service on February 1st, 2021. His credentials include but are not limited to multiple deployments and being a member of the Tiger Force Scout Sniper Platoon, was an elite unit consisting of Shepherd's Black to the Vietnam War. SFC retired Darren Hunt. SFC retired Shields, married his high school sweetheart, Ryan, and together they had 2 children, one of which served in the military as well. And one grandson, please welcome Sergeant First Class retired Darrell Shields.
Good attendance today. And like Sergeant Major said, mine is going to be a little longer than his. I attempt to be somewhat prepared. Good morning. My name is Army Retired Sergeant First Class Darrell Shields, and I'm honored to be one of your Veterans Day speakers here today. Veterans Day came about after World War I. It was a long and bloody 5-year war with many countries fighting during those 5 years. The United States fought in World War I from April 1917 to November 1918. In 1918, at the 11th hour, on the 11th day of the 11th month, the armistice was signed, ending the war. World War I was nicknamed the war to end all wars. Sadly, this was not to be true. Many brave men and women have fought and died in several wars since then, and still fight and die for our freedoms today. Armistice Day was a day set aside to honor all those heroes who fought in World War I. In 1971, President Eisenhower changed the name to Veterans Day and made it a federal holiday to honor all who have served and are currently serving in the armed forces. For each of you sitting here today, Veterans Day means something different. I'm here today to give you some personal insight of what Veterans Day means from the veterans. I grew up in the big booming towns of Couch and Myrtle, Missouri. I attended Couch School from Head Start until I graduated in 1995. I had no idea what I was going to do with my life after high school. Joining the military had never occurred to me. Until one day, 8 months later, I was stocking shelves at the Fair Walmart when an Army recruiter came in and asked if I was Darrell Shields. I replied with, "Who's asking?" His reply was, "He is a recruiter for the Army and wanted to talk to me about my future." Later that afternoon, at the dining room table, we discussed my future, and in February 1996, I joined the Army as an infantryman. My future started very quickly in February 96. Not only did I join the Army, but my high school sweetheart and I got married the same month. She graduated from Couch in May 96 while I was attending basic training at Fort Benning, Georgia. After I graduated basic training in July 1996, we were assigned to our first duty station at Fort Lewis, Washington, almost 2,200 miles away from our little spot on the map. Big change. All of this happened within a 6-month time frame, and both of us were just 18. I was assigned to 1st and 23rd Infantry there at Fort Lewis. My first enlistment was only 3 years, but it flew by very, very fast. As I neared the end of my first enlistment, my mentor and squad leader, Staff Sergeant Heffernan, encouraged me to re-enlist. I re-enlisted for my first time for 4 more years and to serve in Germany. We were assigned to 1st Battalion, 18th Infantry in Schweinfurt, Germany. This was our most favorite time of our military career. My wife enjoyed traveling in Europe, and I enjoyed serving as a sniper on a sniper squad of 7 guys who became family to us. As my enlistment was coming to an end in Germany, I re-enlisted for my second time for 3 more years to be assigned at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, home of the 101st Airborne Infantry, whose history stretches back to D-Day in World War II and is portrayed in the Band of Brothers movie. I was assigned 1st Battalion, 327th Infantry, where I served with Tiger Force Scout Sniper Platoon, which is an elite unit whose history stretches back to the Vietnam War. My career in the military up to then was mostly military schools, military training exercises, and a whole lot of field problems. All of this prepared me for a war that would start on 9/11 and would last the rest of my military career. In March 2003, the invasion in Iraq began. Tiger Force wasn't given much warning time. One day we were told we were deploying. I came home and told my wife and son, who was 5 at the time, that we were deploying to Kuwait to stage for the invasion into Iraq. 3 days later, we laid on the bed, holding each other, waiting until the hour I had to report to my unit to ship out. We had no idea how long my unit and I would be gone, no idea when we would be able to contact each other. We deployed February 2003 and crossed the border into Iraq in March 2003. Our living conditions were not very well, to say the least. When we stopped to bed down, my shooter and I dug shallow fighting positions to sleep in and fight from if need be. We all joked that we were digging our own shallow graves. We not only had to worry about fighting the enemy, but we also had to worry about friendly fire as well. Right before we crossed the border into Iraq from Kuwait, we had a fellow soldier from one of the other companies throw grenades into one of the command tents, killing 2 officers and wounding several others. Friendly fire is not very friendly. We thought we were in heaven when we finally got to sleep in a building that we cleared and took over. June was the first time any of us were able to take a shower and get clean. Up until then, you just brush your teeth and wipe down your undercarriage with a baby wipe to get clean. You can imagine how awesome we all smelled after 3 months of not being able to take showers. We pretty much smelled like roses and lavender. My first call home to my wife and son was also in June, and we were able to only talk for 5 minutes. That way everybody in the unit was able to call home and talk to their loved ones. That was 3 months of absolutely no contact with my wife and son. They had no idea where I was, what I was doing, what kind of harm's way I was in. I also had no idea what they were doing or if they were okay. Unfortunately, I didn't have the luxury to think much about them the first 3 months of the invasion due to having to do my job. You have to concentrate on your mission. You have to worry about and protect your current family, your brothers in arms, that you are fighting with every day, sometimes all day. You have to protect and take care of each other. A lot of us were getting very skinny from the lack of food, lack of good quality food. Living on 2 MREs a day is probably the best diet in the world. The 2003 Iraq deployment finally came to an end for my unit and myself. 12 months later in February 2004, where I was finally able to be back with my wife and son. A whole year had gone by. A year of holidays, birthdays, anniversaries, football games, and much, much more missed. And we'll never be able to get back. After my 2003-4 trip, I decided it was time to do bigger and better things. I attended the Special Forces Assessment Selection Course at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and was selected to attend the Special Forces Qualification Course, also located at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Upon passing the Q course, I became a member of the Elite Special Forces Green Berets as an 18 Bravo Special Forces Weapons Sergeant, and re-enlisted for my 3rd time for 5 more years, and was assigned to 5th Special Forces Group Airborne located at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. The Special Forces has a history that stretches back to World War II. and is the only unit in the U.S. Army that was awarded the headgear from a president. President John F. Kennedy awarded the Green Beret to the Special Forces on October 12, 1961. After a few years with 5th Group, I re-enlisted a 4th and final time for indefinite, which takes me to 20 or more years of service. I served the rest of my military career with 5th Special Forces Group Airborne at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and 6th Battalion 1st Special Warfare Training Group Airborne, located at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. During my time with 5th Group, I deployed a total of 4 more times, 3 more of those back to Iraq, and my 4th and last deployment to Afghanistan. My last deployment to Afghanistan had many close encounters. My ODA that I was assigned to at the time was on split team ops, which means half of my team is in one location, my half is in another location. My half of the team was located on the Afghan-Pakistan border. On a very, very small forward operating base, we received indirect fire on average 2 to 3 times a week, and always received small arms fire while all out on foot or vehicle patrols. The last patrol I was on during that deployment was a 2-vehicle convoy patrol. While on patrol, we were ambushed with an IED and small arms direct fire. I was the driver of the lead vehicle of the patrol. Luckily, the IED was a delayed detonation and exploded just past the rear of my vehicle, hitting the rear of my vehicle and the front of the trail vehicle with shrapnel. The enemy opened fire on us immediately with direct small arms fire. We answered their fire with a bit of our accurate fire. We conducted our business there and went on about our merry way. When we returned to the FOB and assessed the damage to the vehicles, they had multiple armor-piercing bullets stuck in them. Both of my rear tires and both of the front tires of the rear vehicle were blown out and a lot of shrapnel damage. We were very lucky. The vehicles we were patrolling in were made for that purpose and absorbed all of the IED blasts and small arms fire, which left us rattled and on an adrenaline high, but uninjured. I returned back to the States shortly after that engagement to move back to Fort Bragg to be an instructor at the Special Warfare Training Group. I hated having to leave my ODA early, but I was called to be an instructor. Moving to Fort Bragg was a nice break from the deployments. I was finally able to have regular family time and somewhat of an actual schedule. I was assigned to 6th Battalion 1st Special Warfare Training Group Airborne as an instructor and company operations sergeant, which oversees multiple courses that are attended by foreign military forces, the Marines, the Air Force, the Navy, and the Army Special Forces personnel. Each of my deployments, I was fortunate to come home safe. All of the various teams I served on were fortunate to come home safe. Some of my brothers that served on different teams were not so lucky. Some of them came home missing parts of their bodies, parts of their soul, or worse, in a casket. Very good to play. 2 of my brothers that I was with on my sniper journey have paid the ultimate price. One was killed by an IED, and the other was killed by a bullet in the head. I have attended many funerals for fallen soldiers in every unit I have served in. Most from being killed while on deployment. Unfortunately, some were from suicide due to their unseen wounds. Some of the hardest things veterans have to do and live with are attending roll call of a fallen soldier, watching the families of fallen soldiers clutching the American as taps are being played at their funerals. Having to live with the memories of your fallen brothers, who you trained with, fought alongside with, bled with, cried with, shared holiday meals with, moved through our careers with, became family, a family that civilians will never know. And now they are the ones who are dead, and you are still moving forward on the battlefield of life. For those who fight for it, freedom has a meaning, but protected will never know. This is what it truly means when you tell a service member, thank you for your service. The burdens we have carried, we have painful scars on our souls, and on our minds we wish we were able to forget. We have spent days, months, and years away from our families, where the only memories we have with them are only through pictures and the stories they tell us. Thank you, students, faculty, and guests, for setting aside this time to honor our country's veterans. Your support means more to them than you will ever know. To the veterans' families, thank you for your support and sacrifices in holding the line on the home front. Yours is one of the toughest jobs on the planet. To the veterans here today, thank you for your service and sacrifices you have made for this great country. Brothers until Valhalla. Thank you.
We would like to recognize any veterans with us here today, including our Gold Star wives and Gold Star families. If you have served in the armed services, please stand so we can recognize you. Our nation honors our sons and daughters who answer the call to defend a country they never knew and the people they never met. These words are inscribed on the Korean War Memorial in Washington, D.C. Those words apply equally to World War I and World War II, Vietnam War, Korean War, the Storm, Operation Korea, and Operation Iron Creek in the veterans as well. They apply to today's active duty service members, law veterans, and those who are helping to maintain peace throughout the world. At this time, we would like to take a moment to remember those who are no longer with us in their ultimate sacrifice. Please join me in a moment of silence.
the retirement of the police. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you for attending our program, and thank you to everyone who helped make this possible. As I said in the beginning, as you can tell, it takes a village to put together a program like this, and we have a pretty awesome village here at Indy Williams. Do you think? We want to make sure that you leave here today feeling as if you have been blessed and appreciated. And let's give our veterans one more round of applause, please. I'm so thankful that Mr. Derrick recognized our spouses and our special family members who are here today, and we do want you to know once again, and also Officer Sheriff also talked about how important families are, and we want you to know that we know you are the wind beneath their wings as well, and you are appreciated today. Let's give them one more hand in this place. We're always blessed and honored to have our Gold Star families here, and our Gold Star wives, and our auxiliary members for our VFW. Our VFW gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen are so precious and make our program so very important. We want to invite you to a reception directly after the program, and you will exit out that back door directly behind you and make your way to our cafeteria. It is fresh cinnamon rolls from our cafeteria ladies and some fruit and coffee, but most important, a time for you to fellowship with one another. And so we hope that you will make your way, veterans and your families, to the reception area right after our program. Our children will not be able to attend with you. We don't have that many cinnamon rolls, but we know you'll enjoy your time together. Thank you. As always, God bless you and God bless America. You are dismissed at this time.